Right, welcome to See You Next Tuesday. Apologies for being shit communicators. From now on, we will be having all our school holidays off because they're just too manic. If we're that prepared, there might be a few little snippets throughout school holidays, but for now, we are having school holidays off. No excuses. We cannot jump it all. We are.
Logistically, no.
Mentally, physically, no. So that's us. So, how's your summer been?
The summer's been great. I've had a great summer because I also gave myself the grace of hardly working. I had obviously the 4 children because I love to take my grandkids everywhere with me with my daughters. We had a great summer. We've done loads of exploring. We've been out, usual stuff. Nice. Literally just all child orientated, all outside, all exploring.
Love that.
No iPads, no nothing, just outdoors exploring. And that's literally, when I say we took the summer, that's what we did. Literally took the summer to just do us.
Nice.
So.
Nice. I've had quite a lot this summer. It feels like last Sunday, so I got engaged.
Yeah, congrats.
And then had a party on the back of that, which was really stressful. In fact, probably nearly broke us completely. I think there was for me, I can only speak for myself, is that, oh my God, shit is getting real. Am I going to be able to deal with this? Is this going to be another person to let me down? Do I want to commit to somebody else? So all of those, I couldn't see it at the time, but then after the party, I was like, I can breathe. But yeah, after the
when did you discuss that? Oh, really? So afterwards?
Yeah, it wasn't until after. And to be honest, I stopped writing my book quite a while ago, and then I picked it back up after writing a healing journey. I picked it back up, and I'm going round in circles, but that came off the back of going into work, not being paid, not knowing if that was going to happen at all, not knowing if I've got a job, and that's sort of from the back of that. So I was like, right, I need to do something proactive. I've started a healing journey. I'm going to finish that first because I do my ADHD brain. I do a bit of this, so I've just stuck to one project at a time. So that healing journal was that. So that sort of triggered, can I do this? Can I commit to one person? And it's not can I commit my heart to potentially being broken? It's probably the right saying. Can I?
So you're already expecting it to be broken, though.
Yeah. Can I trust someone with my heart? Yeah, because my lived experience is none.
Yeah, mine is.
No man has ever not broken my trust in quite a significant way.
Trust or heart, are they both the same thing?
Predominantly trust, but I think that leads to feeling heartbroken because you think, oh, fucking. Well, for me, I think, fuck, why have I allowed this to happen? Why can't I not control the narrative?
Yeah, why? Yeah.
But it's about allowing these people into your world, into your vulnerability, and then breaking that is a significant pattern I've had, all in very different ways, but yet all stay the same. And obviously, in terms of men, that's bound to be a thing. Otherwise, I'd still be with one of them.
Yeah, mine's not heartbreak. Mine's disappointment.
I think they're all interconnected. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think you can, and this is communication and trust has been quite a thing, even with my clients. And it's about, if you cannot respect someone else's time or communicate things are going to change, or that leads to, in a way, distrust because you've said you're going to do something and you haven't.
You don't show up doing that, yeah.
That leads to distrust. It doesn't necessarily need to be in somebody else's bed or texting, or that sort of infidelity just
But isn't that funny?
doing what you say.
Isn't that funny though? Like just highlighting that most people think that you would be talking about cheating or talking to somebody else behind your back, or do you know what I'm trying to say? Or people don't realise that what you're talking about is like just basic needs, really.
Yeah, and I just think I fuck up all the time. But if I cannot do what I say I'm going to do, I'll own that and say, look, I can't do that. Or do you know what? Today I can't do that. I can't fit that into my space. I will do it by this date. That's fine. Like, I don't have a problem doing that. It's the lack of communication. And if you say you're going to do something, I'm hearing you're going to do that, and that's what I expect. And I don't feel like lowering my expectations is an option. I think if I say I'm going to pick you up at 6 o'clock and I'm running 15 minutes late, I'm just going to text Wendie, I'm just running a bit late. Don't think that's a hard or a big expectation.
No, it's
communicate.
Understood.
And I think that's in general. I think if you say, right, I'm going to cook once a week, so you have a night off, that's an expectation then, because you've committed to that. And then if you don't do that, that's then makes me distrust the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Yeah, so if you're not showing up and doing as what you say you're doing.
Yeah. And I think, why say something if you ain't going to do it? And that's not just about, that is in general terms of a lot of people I found around me, and like literally clients coming with it all the time. Like, why would they say something and not do it? Why would you? Because for me, then you're lying. Because you're lying to yourself and you're lying to that person.
Maybe they're not at that point though.
Who on? Oh, no, I'm just talking in general.
Yeah, but I'm talking in general. Maybe the people that they're dealing with aren't at that point though.
What, saying?
Like, just playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying that, like,
no, I love devil.
I'm just saying we all expect people to come from a place that we're coming from. And if they're not at that place that where you're coming from, or they're not on the level, or have done other things that bring them. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I agree, but are we not all on the level of being able to talk and have a conversation?
No.
Well, I think we are. I think from a very early age, you are taught to talk. There you go. That's all it is. Words coming out.
Yeah, but the trouble is, everyone's so... Yeah, and then like when you're small, your words come out, and it's amazing what people will let stroll out their mouth when they want to, but like you say, cannot give you the common courtesy of actually just saying, running late, or I can't come, or, you know, I'm never going to make that, I've overextended myself, I've effed up. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I am like that, and I just think to myself, like, because, you know, if I don't, it stresses me out.
But do you not think that all of those things are, again, a lack of accountability? I'm not going to own my stuff that I've done something or said something to you. I'm not going to own that. I'm just going to ignore it, or I'm not going to deal with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some people can't take
of accountability.
Yeah, it's a lack of accountability because, unfortunately, most people can't take ownership of stuff.
When did we become a place where everything has to be perfect, though? Because I think if you can't look,
please do not
at yourself
wrong. If you
cannot say, right, I fucked up, I am sorry, then you are seeking an unrealistic perfection, you know?
Maybe it's people pleasing, maybe it's likability. I don't know.
Maybe it's likability, but how can you like someone that doesn't do what they're meant to do?
Because they're so busy trying to be like, they don't realise that the inauthenticity is manipulative, murky energy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've learnt that lesson big time, as you know, with my kid. So that was a huge one. But, you know, and I took it so far as to, you know, almost be killing myself over it, but it mattered on such a deep level, profound level, but it had nothing to do with him liking me. It was about me worrying about not being liked or loved by him through other things, but that still wasn't his problem. That was still mine, and I still had to take that on the chin. But I think the trouble is, I mean, I'm massively liked for the fact that I'm literally one of life's complete chaotic F-ups, to be honest with you. If it's going to happen, it'll happen. If I'm late, or I can't, or the trouble is I own stuff, but also none of it comes with any malice, and I'm not liked any less from the fact that I own it, which drives me mad when, like you say, when people do it. But life does get in the way, and
100%, and that's
but like you say, it's work in progress as well. I think the other side of that needs to be an application of self, because you may not have made it this time on time or at that date, but maybe slow down enough to think, don't overextend yourself, don't overbook yourself, don't under sort of like sell how much time you've got. I mean, if it's a genuine accident, I was on time this morning. I've been really working hard on timekeeping, so I got a phone call that set me back a little while.
But you communicated instantly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so then and it was me, but I was at there thinking, when's she going to come? How is she going to be? When's she going to come? How is she going to be? Should I start this? Should I do this?
My first thought was, she's setting up, she's waiting. I know that your time is precious and that you have things to do in that time.
So, but everybody's time is precious, is it not?
I value that though.
Yeah. And that's maybe the thing. And then maybe that's one thing, the clients need to look at is, do you feel they value your time?
Yeah.
Because that's I like that. Do you think people value your time?
Or value what you bring. Because I think if you go down that rabbit hole of looking where value is held surrounding you, 90% of the time it's because you're bringing something to the table. Yeah? I understand that you do all of this, that you know all of this, you was getting on with this. I also understand you're a mum, you have a business, but also as in a friend, I just thought, let her know, don't leave her waiting. Because I appreciate you. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
And it isn't just built on the things that I know you've got going on. It's how much regard I have for you, if that makes sense.
But then isn't that when it's reciprocated?
Yeah, massively.
Because, that there is that regard. We appreciate that we've got loads of different facets in our life that brings chaos.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And we can work around that and be adaptable. But if I didn't value you, would I be so bothered?
Maybe not, but then maybe it's about that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's around the value that people, like, I've cut. I mean, Christ, my life was very barren before, but I've even reduced it even more now with people because you would be amazed, even in the form of clients, even in the form of work colleagues, even in the form of family members, people do take liberties with people.
Oh my God. People that are kind, people that are giving, seem to be the worst.
And also are the least valued.
Yeah.
In regards to, oh, sorry I didn't get back to you. Sorry I didn't let you know. Oh, I'm really sorry. I know it's last minute, but I've overbooked myself, and you're treated like an option.
Yeah. And I've found that the hard way with actual clients, actually. And going forward, I've sort of stopped taking anyone new on for the next few weeks because there's projects I'm going to finish. But I'm now going to take 50% deposit because I know I'm worth that.
Yeah.
And there's where the difference lies. Where before I was like, oh my God, I need clients. I need to, build this thing. Well, actually,
choose your people.
Yeah, and if you want to come, you'll pay that 50%. And it's not because I want to be a bastard. It's because actually my time is valuable.
And
and knowing that actually my time is valuable, which is a new thing for me. That I've learned. Actually, Luce, value your time, value your.
But you triggered that off my end. This is what I'm saying to you. When you said, I can't even remember what it was you said to me. We were just having some little back and I flipped, and I thought, I flipped. It's like, I flipped. I'm going to finish something. And I thought, yes, Lucy, this is me. You probably could have heard me from my house. And I thought, you're onto something here. We do this. So, you know, and it's like what we were saying in the beginning of this podcast with this, is that I've got good plans for this podcast. I've got real good stuff coming through constantly. And I've had to clear a lot to be able to dedicate more than the day that we do. I enjoy it. It's what fills your cup.
Yeah.
And value. And I thought, actually, you know what, she's right, you know, people don't value your time. Then I thought, you don't value your time, you keep giving it away. And I thought, and I went on a massive tangent, obviously. But yeah, I found what you're saying quite fitting in the fact that sometimes it's not other people. Sometimes, again, as always, when you look at it, you realise that you're the own maker of your own shit.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely guilty of that. I give my time. Of course I can. Yes. Because it's always people I fucking like and love. And I think, yeah, come on. Don't worry about me. I'll just give you my time. No. And, then I thought, well, I've got things I want to finish. How come she's finishing things like, fuck's sake? And I always get angry before I get upset. And then I think, well, it's you dick. Sort it out. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I always have to go full circle.
And I sometimes I think I flip. One, because my brain is like that, but two, actually, when I look on a deep level, it's avoidance, because I've done some of the work and I can't fail if I don't put it out there. So this is what I've done. So this is my healing journal that I'm hopefully releasing.
Love it.
On the
22nd
of September.
So proud of you. I watched you go, finishing this, doing this, done, here it is. And I'm like, she's winning. Love it. Love it.
Actually, I'd rather try and fail than not try at all. And it's about keep telling myself that.
Yeah.
Because it does feel quite vulnerable going, right, I'm going to do something completely different. I've never done before. I'm going to put it out there and let's see what happens.
Trouble is though, is it failing or is it just feedback? And we get so bloody sensitive over stuff, don't we?
Yeah.
And the thing is, that's not failing. That's a win.
Yeah.
There's no failing. Do you understand me? That's not a fail. And even if that's, like you just said, there's loads of things, blah, blah, blah. You know what you want. You have high standards, but you're also somebody that's been on this journey and been doing work for so long. You know what it takes. You know what it needs, and you know what it needs to look like in order to get others to that point. So that's not failing.
Yeah, and I just thought, for me personally, like that every week's got a theme. It's dipping into certain parts of us we don't really like to look at, and celebrating certain parts of us that we don't. So I've probably purchased about 25 healing similar tools, but they're all very like, day one is the same as day 6, and I've tried some are very similar, but I've really tried to embrace that every day is a different day. Because every day is a different day.
Yeah.
And you can touch on something and then come back to it. It's not a strict guide. It's a 6-month healing journey. Start when you want, finish when you want.
Yeah.
And I've also pointed out the things that you are avoiding in there are probably the ones you need to look at the most.
Yeah.
Because we all know that.
Always.
But I think in terms of winning, I think I find it easier to fight for everybody else. And actually, now it's my time to fight for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm on the same page as you there. Yeah, backing my arse off for me at the moment. And it
doesn't stop. And I think, both of us have got kids with extra needs, maybe not SEN, but there's stuff going on for all of our kids. And I think the Educational Tribunal, I spent hours researching, doing this, highlighting that, emailing this person, emailing that person, getting a professional, trying to do this, which we won, which is great, and Vinny's really, really happy. But actually, that was easy because it was for somebody else's needs to fight for.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, let's be seen and be heard.
That's what I'm saying. It's mental how we know we do so much stuff, not only just in avoidance, but to stay small. to stay unseen, to stay out because you think, you know, it's just, but it's because I think it's weird. I have this theory that the people that go through the most trauma was because the people that feared their their energy, their loudness, their authenticity so much needed to keep it quiet, needed to dampen it down.
Well, it's funny you used to say that because one of my fears is that my autobiography, which is also done, I've just got my bit's done.
Fuck me,
I've just got to put in my family's bits. But one part of that is like, what if I ever get noticed in media or anything? If I ever get noticed, the shit that I've done in my life, which I think, fuck, that's going to be there for all to see. Because I have got skeletons in my closet here, loads of them. And not particularly harmful to anyone else, mainly harmful behaviour towards myself, relationships with substances, relationships with
losing
the wrong people.
Listen, and I mean this sincerely from my heart, how the hell do you expect to help others on the profound level that you are if you haven't lived that shit to learn it, to be able to teach it yourself?
Yeah, and I do agree with that, but I think there's that fear of judgment and they're not being good enough.
Yeah,
and you're not good enough.
And I do understand that. I do understand that. But you see, the thing is, for me, do you know, whenever I feel like that, you're going to laugh now, right? Whenever I go through this a lot, believe it or not, and I'm no celebrity, and I don't get recognised nowhere. The only thing I get brought to is like, heard you, seeing you before you come in. Do you know what I mean? So you just know for being loud. But I always think of that scene in 8 Mile when he's right at the end and he's coming up against the people and they've got, you know, they do that battle where they're rapping and they're battling and they come out with all the stuff, and Eminem stood there and all this stuff's gone on, all this embarrassing stuff, they found out all these things about him, and then he thinks, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to tell you all about me, so that he's got nothing to say.
Yeah, that is really...
And then look, listen, say something, tell these people something they don't know about me. And he absolutely screws him over.
Yeah.
So, you know, when people do that to me, I always hear that, that tune in the background, and I think to myself, no, I'll tell you, because if you hear it from me, you ain't going to need to go anywhere else and hear it from anyone else.
Yeah. And I think because I've done the first part of my biography, because it's going to be a trilogy, because I've got a bit of an obsession with 3, so it's like the childhood, the knock-on effect from abuse, so how I had no standards, how I let people continue to stay in the abusive cycle, and then the healing part. So my main shit that I have done in my life is in the middle bit. Yeah, and it's not out yet.
Anyway, it's not out yet. And you know what? If people want to do a spoiler alert, do a spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Like, send us your notes for the movie. But you're just like, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. But like, listen, nobody gets to where they get in life without failing. And the ones that are triumphant fail massively.
Yeah.
You know, and that takes bollocks. Let me tell you, it takes bollocks to fall flat on your face, and it takes bollocks to put yourself out there in those environments to live the stuff that you live, and it takes even bigger ones to then scrape yourself up, dust yourself down, learn the lesson from it, because if everybody could change, if everybody could heal, and everybody could learn, they'd all be doing it, and you wouldn't need a fucking journal. You know where I'm coming from?
True facts.
Right. So I actually think, you know, that's your superpower. It's bloody mine. I tell you, if anyone's been there and fucked it up and got up from it, it'll be me.
Yeah.
You know? And some of them are so bad.
Oh God, yeah. Mine are like, I literally can't even
yeah, they make your face want to melt up and sit through your eyes. And I'm like, and then in kicks Eminem's little thing tune and look away, nothing. Yeah. Actually, I'm telling you, that you've got nothing to say about me. If you want to say something. Do you know what I mean? Say something then.
And I think that, there is so much power in being vulnerability, but it comes with such a fear.
Yeah.
It comes with such a fear. And I think
that growth only comes from...
I've been speaking to a few men actually lately about coming on here.
Mm.
And their biggest fear is their vulnerability being used against them.
Yeah.
And it's not for me to encourage you that it won't be, because it potentially is going to be.
Yeah, that drives you mad when you think that this week we've lost Ricky Hatton, who was one of the biggest advocates for mental health, for emotional vulnerability, and for doing what he did amazingly so for the cause. Yet he was known for what? Being brutal in the ring. He was a boxer. I mean, God, you know where I'm coming? Like, look at Mike Tyson. Look at Mike Tyson. Look at what he advocates now. Look at where he comes from. I mean, it drives me mad that men still shame men for vulnerability, yet the most powerful, most feared men in the world of fighting and boxing, Tyson Fury, another one, struggles with mental health, very open about it.
Yeah. And I've read, and to be honest, actually, what surprises me is a lot more women shame men than men shame men. From what I've seen on Instagram in the comments,
wow,
it's actually predominantly more women than men in the comments.
Wow.
And I've got a friend, Hayley, who's going to come on, and she gets trolled quite a lot, and hers are predominantly men troll her, really quite horrible. She's going to come and talk about that at some point. But when I see women slate men, it's vulnerability, it's more women, which I would not have thought. And I think men are...
Sort of bent out of shape breed, didn't we?
Men are...
I'm joking.
For me...
Before you all troll me.
Go away. Any attention.
Yeah.
But men are sly with their comments.
Yeah.
They're not openly like, oh, I think you're a fucking wet weekend.
Oh no, you've had this, haven't you? You've had this.
I think that they'll do it. Oh, it's only banter.
Yes.
It's funny, but okay. So I think they're more sly, subtle, however you want to put it. Whereas women,
I think they are.
I've seen them like outright
cutthroat
bastards about people being vulnerable. I know that there was somebody spoke to me a few weeks ago about mental health and how they were struggling and how their partner was probably their biggest ally, not ally, what's the offender, and used to absolutely rip the piss.
Okay.
Of any emotion that wasn't happiness.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. Unless it was a happy emotion or a positive emotion, it was a source of great ridicule. And that says a lot, because that's what you got facts.
Yeah, because it just... but you just think, like... where the world's going wrong, isn't it?
It is, because actually we all have feelings. We might not always be able to put a name to that feeling, but we all have them. So why do we expect certain sexes not to have just doing a 7-minute exercise to start your day so you can fit it in to start with? So you're just starting somewhere. And I think, I don't know really where I'm going with that now. My mind's gone so far over here. But
what you're saying is if you was going to say something, even if it would be constructive, it wouldn't necessarily be nasty.
Just an arsehole. Yeah. There's no need just to be unkind. And there's a lot of it that. A lot. And I especially this keyboard. And I haven't really noticed it because luckily for me, I haven't really had that. I've had people go, oh, fucking hell, you're saying positive all the time, as a negative. That's fine, but it's not really been a thing. But when I've started looking a little bit more in depth about the comments, I'm never really a comment reader, but I have been. I'm shocked.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm not somebody who... You're lucky if I look.
But it's taken me a lot of... I don't even know what I would call it. but a lot of not to react. So call them out, because I think...
Is this on posts of your own or posts?
No, nothing.
Oh,
no, nothing of me. It's all about, getting things out there. There's a really great guy that I've been following now. I can't think of his name. He's an MBE, but he does a lot of youth work. But it's just like, why would you go out of your way to be unkind to somebody? Like,
But can you imagine how... See, the thing is, I always think when people are unkind, the first thing that comes to my mind when I see or hear people being unkind, I think, what's wrong with you?
True that. But if I see something I don't like, move on. Right? I don't comment. I don't.
No, but I don't comment. But like when someone's been unkind, I just think, I wonder what's...
Oh, definitely. And it's hard to say nothing. But then I think you'll just...
I can't say nothing. If I'm there in person, I can't say nothing.
No.
Christ, I'm the opposite. I'm like, whoa. I'm the first to pipe up, unfortunately. But it's...
yeah.
I don't know.
That's a little bit of a common thread with us.
Yeah, but I'm not the comment... I must admit, I'm not a comments person. But then I suppose it's because I don't care for them, so I suppose...
No, and I've never really looked into it. It was only just talking with it as a guy on LinkedIn who's doing a podcast about police suicide. There's a lot of suicide in the police force. So
I know this, 2 friends of mine.
He's doing a podcast, and that is really interesting. So he's speaking quite vulnerably, and we are... Hopefully he's going to come on too. Yeah. But he sort of triggered me to thinking about it, and then I've just been...
I suppose if someone brings your awareness...
When it's in your attention, I just think, oh yeah, I'm just going to have a little look. I've stopped because it's not good for me. But I just... it's not, because then I think, fucking hell, why are these people getting in? And it creates me to be angry, and then I think about what comeback I would put, or what can I say, and I think, no, you're just
you walk away being wound up for something that's not even your... Yes.
Yeah, so I'm being dragged into your drama, so I've stopped, but I just thought like it was just poignant to add that actually I would have thought it was men taking out the piss out of men, but it's quite it's not just men.
No, right, got it.
And I think that needs to be out there.
Yeah, massively. See, the thing is, I come across a lot of youngsters, especially through work, and it's a common theme from boys for being like, from 17 onwards. I mean, more than people realise. And sometimes what makes it worse is it's not even the comments or the feedback or the advice isn't even needed. Sometimes people just want to be heard. They just want to know that someone's listening.
Having space.
Do you know what I mean? And I says, what's going on? How are you handling that then? What's happening for you? And, I think that, like, they'll come out and say things and I think, Christ, you didn't speak for weeks. Like, where's that come from? And then I think, and it's like, and then the next day I'm saying, like, oh, I've been meaning to speak to you. And they wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
And all I've done is listen. I actually haven't even said a word, which is a miracle for me, let me tell you. But I think where it goes wrong, particularly for girls, for men, for boys, more than girls, is the fact that it's like a thing that they're just not meant to talk, are they? They're not meant to say things, they're not meant to share things, they're not meant to hear things. And quite quickly you go, oh yeah, but they don't say anything, or they never talk to me. Well, do you talk to them? Yeah. Do you ask?
Are you asking the right questions as well? We said about asking, oh, are you all right? Or how are you? What's going on for you? Like, what holds more weight, isn't it, in that moment? Generally being inquisitive about other people.
Yes, I normally just delve on what you're up to.
Yeah.
What's the week look like? And I'm like, if I get not much, I'm like, so what does not much entail? And then they'll start to spill.
Yeah.
But they take a while to crack open, because if they're not used to even being asked, then it's going to take them a while to organise what you're after, like what you want, what they're allowed to say, what they're not allowed to say.
Yeah.
And you think that's 3-4 conversations in.
Yeah.
If you're only seeing them once a week, trust me, by the time you see him on that Sunday,
100%.
it's built up. And they're like, hi, how's your week been? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And they're like 17, 18.
Yeah.
And they're all boys.
I really like doing the walking with the teenagers because I feel that works for me. Talking of teenagers and boys, my little man, who many people won't know about, is out.
He's out.
Yesterday.
Bless him.
So,
lovely.
When I get that phone call, he's gonna be dragged straight in here so that I can make sure that I get his voice heard because I feel like it's a really important voice to hear. One being a male, two being through so much of institutionalized things. I don't really want to tell his story.
That's fine.
That I just think it'd be nice to hear that from his perspective. So
looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah.
Looking forward to meeting him.
I normally only get a snapshot, and I'm trying not to think I'm only going to get a snapshot, but I normally only get a snapshot of time of about a week, and then we're
back to the form.
Back to cycles.
So
I've got to.
See, I must admit, I've got to say, and I won't be thanked for speaking out loud about it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I mean, obviously we all know that I'm enjoying prison life at the moment.
Yeah.
With a child of mine and his children. And, it blows my mind the amount of youngsters that go in have no one, because I seem to adopt them. It'll be like, can you get them? Can you bring in? Can you get me? Can you do? Because they have no one. And what does my head in even more is there's not an amount of substantial help in place for them. And the help that is not well documented whilst they're in there. And the food they're fed isn't food that's feeding and nourishing their brains. The systems that they have aren't teaching them any better. And they've got a nice chunk of time, some of these people. There's getting this, I know that they can't be out, but get the movement going with the gym. You have to do so many things to earn to be able to get to the gym. I get we're on punishment, but doing fitness can be a fucking punishment for some people. Do you know where I'm coming from? It isn't, but some people find it a punishment, trust me.
Yeah,
get their brains moving. Get their feel-good factors right. Get their guts on point. Get their brains fed. Get their sleep done. I know you can't always, coach these people to do these things, but I'm generally horrified at how they're just held.
I completely agree, and I think there's no such thing as rehabilitation unless you look at the underlying issues. There's always when I first came into care work, I think I was about 24, but worked with kids in care. Someone said to me, "Don't ever look at the behaviour. Don't ever look at the presenting behaviour. Always look what's driving it, what's underneath."
Yeah.
And every time,
it's just communication.
Yeah. And as much as a lot of the young adults that I've worked with or I know in those places aren't young adults that fell from. They are mentally operating at a much younger level.
Emotionally, yeah.
Yeah, emotionally, intellectually, everywhere. But yet they're made to try and fit into society.
A narrative that's
where you're 18, 19.
And supposed to be self-sufficient. And if you've never been taught and never been given the foundations and never been guided, then you're stuck at the age that it stopped, aren't you? And this is what I'm saying. They have reading material. I know they can't force these people to do this. And I know a lot of the people that are coming through are such a broad range of ages. You see them babies? Don't understand why we're not grabbing them at that point and saying, listen, let me give you another, let you look at this from another angle. Let me give you another viewpoint on this. Let me test a few things and let's see what's going on. Let's teach you a little bit of self-care, a little bit of self-nourishment, a little bit of self-value, a little bit of self-actualization in the form of like reading a bit of like not self-help, but just inspirational things.
Oh, like listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, there's loads
Let's
of
get your body moving. Let's play it out loud whilst they're walking around in circles around the little part that they're allowed to walk in. I'm not saying don't punish them, but it's got to be said that system's so damn broken.
And see, I am a bit of a believer in what do you call them? National service. I just think that routine, that the respect, the boundaries, and I'm not saying send our kids to war because I'm really not, but I do think there's a lot to be said for respect, boundaries, self-care, independent skills. I feel like if you're
self-help, solution-based thinking,
and I think like especially with the knife crime, my idealistic view would be
scares me to death.
Get caught with a knife, straight in to some form of national service.
Because the consequence has to be enough for deterrent.
And also, you're just teaching them then. You're teaching them, right, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting up. There is no, I might stay in bed, I might not do this. This is, if you look at the national service, I mean, I haven't been there, so, but from my view of what it's been, is your routine is your routine. It's non-negotiable. This is what happens to you every day. So sleep patterns, eat patterns, exercise, self-worth, growing. And yes, a lot of the time they break them to build them back up again. But that's part of the process, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Right, actually, we're all in this together. We've all fucked up. Now we're going to...
Accountability.
A better heaven.
Yeah. Accountability breeds self-worth, self-value, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and realising that you have a choice and that you are in charge and that you can take control and make another decision, choose a different way anytime you like, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
It's that beautiful story. Please do not think I'm saying they don't deserve their punishment. Please do not say that I'm not saying that the prisons aren't doing what they should be doing. I'm not. I'm just saying
there might be another way.
There might be a support system that could be working alongside what they're doing is what I'm saying. An exploration into something that might be worth exploring alongside what they've already got in place.
I think this is not just our perspective, there's actual evidence, isn't there? Yeah. For repeat offending.
And like there's that beautiful thing about talking about decisions and choices and, you know, the story about the gentleman who was in the concentration camp and the whole time the people around him were being taken and doing whatever. But all the time he's thinking he's in another world, planning, getting out. He wasn't confined into the situation he was in. He used to tell them and tell others, like, and speak about in their heads where they were, who they were with, what it felt like, what they were grateful for. What they were grateful for inside a concentration camp, because they knew if they found one surely gratitude, that it wasn't, they had something that gave them, well, hope, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But the point is, they chose not to be beaten because they didn't have them in here. They didn't have them in their entirety, did they?
No.
You understand me?
It's never so.
You know, and you're only ever one decision away, one choice away from a totally different path, a totally different outcome.
When I do the sleep out, that's what a lot of the people say is when they were only one choice away and they became homeless. And on the flip side of that, the MP of Brighton, I'm not sure if he's still the MP, was homeless. So you can see how it can go either way.
That's, you know, pretty much. You know, and I just think if people understood a little bit more about their choices, their actions, accountability, I think they wouldn't fear it as much.
Yeah.
And it's all right being vulnerable. I mean, like, it is all right being vulnerable. Some, like, as I've pointed out in this podcast, some of the strongest men in the world, some of the biggest fighters in this world, don't have a problem being vulnerable.
No.
That's how they become great. People understood that you truly have to embrace every single part of you, both broken, vulnerable, good, bad, the ugly, That's true greatness.
Yeah.
That's true greatness.
That is.
You know, and that's how these people become great, is because they don't deny those parts of themselves.
Yeah.
And, you know, the evidence is there. These people are documenting their journeys. Mike Tyson's got things documented. Tyson Fury has. Ricky Hatton has. I mean, like, you look at some of the great people in the world, you know, they've all documented.
Gone through it.
You know, the highs and the lows.
Yeah.
They own it all. They own every part of it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I think we need to breed that.
Yeah.
Breed that.
Big time.
Yeah, 100%.
Big time. You know, and realise that, you know, it's, it is all of the parts. Yeah. Not just the parts you think people want to see.
That is it. And then we can all relate to something, can't we?
Mm.
I think, oh yeah, that reminds me of me and that person. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Oh, I don't like that in that person. What's that about me?
So I do random comments on Instagram. Like, I'll tell you my little secret. I don't want to. But I love dropping little comments on. I only ever write comments, I don't read them. But you know when you come across someone, what you just say, and I think to myself, what can I, like, whatever hits my mind, whatever hits my heart, like, gets that true emotion in me, I just come out with it. And that, like, sometimes it can be quite profoundly heartfelt, but you just think, when they read it, they'll know that someone's seen that. Someone's seen you. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Someone's
That's
seen
amazing.
you.
I love that.
And I just think, I call them the little truth bombs. I just love dropping them. And I don't even follow half these people, but I just drop in and think, do you know what? I'm going to let you know that I've seen exactly what you're doing there. Yeah. And I think you're fucking great for it. And I'll write something. So that's my Instagram. I don't read them comments. Definitely leave them. Yeah. But they are nice ones.
Well, there you go. We, as we're coming sort of to the end, I've just realised I've cut myself off. How long for? I don't know. But that's fine. You've seen enough of me. Coming to the end now. So what about we set you? See how many nice truth bombs you can drop in strangers this week.
Yeah. And don't forget to tag us in them.
Oh yeah, tag away.
Yeah.
Right, we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.